When I tell people how fucked up my husband's family is, people don't believe me, but trust me, there is no way that I could make this shit up even if I wanted to. I have endured 11 years of this fuckery and it is time to spill some tea. It's lengthy, but I promise it is absolutely true and worth it. First, I will introduce the players. Lady Warbooks, my husband's wealthy miserly father, favorite, my sister-in-law, Junior, my niece by marriage and favorite's mini-me daughter, Hubs, my husband, loser, favorite's boyfriend, and Mill, my mother-in-law. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? Favorite was 14 and in her infinite wisdom gets knocked up and decides to drop out school and keep the baby. 3 months later she runs away taking baby with her homeless drug addict boyfriend who gets her hooked on meth. After the cops get called by finding Junior wandering the streets at 6 months old because Favorite left her in the company of other transients while Favorite got high. The cops, after finding her wandering the streets alone one too many times after finding out that Favorite was a 15 almost meth addict, gave Mill one of two options. She could either take custody of the baby or it would go into foster care. Mill chose to take the baby. Mill works full-time and can't afford childcare because Warbooks is the greediest miser and is at this time disinvested in all of his children since they sided with Mill after the divorce. Warbooks is financially abusive with Hubs and despite being wealthy refuses to buy birthday gifts or cards, or pass on any of his pricey hand-me-downs without multiple strings attached. So we have a and a no childcare. Q Hubs is expected to graduate early from high school at 14 to become parentified slave labor for the next 12 years until the junior is old enough to become a latchkey kid. Think being a stay-at-home parent is hard. Try doing it at 14. Favorite is in and out of jail for the next 16 years, spitting out 2 more kids with 2 more baby daddies, one of which is severely disabled. The disabled one she tries to keep and bond with, but her drug addiction and propensity to steal identities keeps landing her in jail. She sees him 1 day a week to give his grandmother a break even though Favorite cannot handle him at all. This kid is traumatized constantly because he is being ripped away from his mother. Authorities talk her into giving up a healthy 3-year-old baby as healthy white babies are highly adoptable. She expects Mill and Hubs to adopt this one, but they have had enough of her shit and are in no mood to raise another one of her crotch goblins. 3-year-old baby gets adopted first by an abusive family and then a batshit crazy one that lied to him about being adopted. He finds out at 16 when they kick him out for smoking weed. He seeks out his birth mom because he's homeless and they meet and get along famously and he adores her because she expects him to even though she abandoned him. After 17 some odd years of jail and drugs she finds out that she is HIV positive and it scares her straight. She sobers up and Hubs talks Warbooks into letting her live with him and Mill finds her a cushy job with her boss even though she has just a GED and 0 work experience. Sounds good, right? She is not at all grateful for this job and won't recognize that her Mill got her the gig. Hub's family is flawed and impressed that she is sober and functional and dub her the greatest thing since sliced bread. This family is pathological about worshipping recovered addicts while chronically ignoring all over children. We go on vacation together. Favorite and Junior take the master suite and Favorite sticks newlywed Hubs and I in twin beds in the kids' room because she deserves the master suite because she had done some unpaid babysitting work for the guy who stuck his neck out to hire a fresh out of jail convicted felon with 0 work experience. The vacation was practically ruined because Junior spent all her time arguing with her boyfriend who was pissed that Mill wouldn't pay for him to go and Favorite whining that she couldn't be with her loser boyfriend because he was in jail for dealing drugs. More on this loser boyfriend later. She decides that she doesn't want to work a real job and wants to be her own boss. This is where the real entitlement shit begins. Favorite decides to open up a shop with Junior. Warbooks decides that having a shop would be fun and bankrolls the endeavor. Hubs and I also chip in 10,000 to make things go smoothly. 10 years later Favorite has tanked not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5, yes 5 shops. Favorite can't do simple math and Favorite and Junior don't realize that it is not good business practice for the entire management team to get in the habit of going gambling in Las Vegas twice a year, leaving shops in the hands of high schoolers making minimum wage. So yeah, 5 once-in-a-lifetime opportunities totally wasted. All of which Warbooks bankrolls to the tune of, if we had let the investment sit and grow, a whopping $2 million. That's right, in less than a decade she managed to piss away over half Warbooks' net worth. Meanwhile, she keeps bragging about what success she is because she's a business owner who employs people. Needless to say, She can't keep those employees because she pays them starvation wages because she can't afford to pay them anything decent, and says that if they want more money they should work hard and be successful like she is. Loser boyfriend gets out of jail. She finds out that loser has been cheating on her while he was in jail with multiple women, including his wife, and still takes him back. She finds out he is cheating because his wife wrote her a letter pretending to be a lawyer threatening to sue her if Favorite doesn't leave Loser alone. Loser gets out of jail early, and shortly after Warbooks gets severely ill. Warbooks embraces Loser as a son because Favorite expects him to. Loser is unemployable because he doesn't have a social security number, driver's license, a car, teeth, or any marketable skills, etc. At 55 years old, the only thing he is qualified to do is manual labor, which at his age has few years of viability left. He has never used his social security number because he has always worked as a drug dealer and never paid taxes, so he is not eligible for social security and will always be a burden to Favorite and Favorite's family. In order to woo his lady, he turns back to dealing drugs to make money to buy her stuff. Loser moves into the house that Favorite shares with Junior. Favor expects Mill to keep working and not retire ever so that Mill can subsidize 80 of the market rate rent on the house Mill owns so Favorite can keep paying peanuts in rent. Favorite and Loser get engaged even though Favorite is still legally married. Warbooks gets sick and Favorite and Loser take care of him for about a month. Favorite goes on blast on social media bragging about how awesome her man is even though he was making zero sacrifices in terms of jobs or other commitments to take care of Warbooks and has all the self-interest in the world in regards to keeping his sugar mama happy. They flood social media with sappy pictures of them going out together and eating meals that they simply can't afford. Warbooks dies with practically no will, leaving whatever is left over to be split among his remaining children. Rocket scientist that he is, he puts all of his financial assets in Favorite's name and trusts her to divvy whatever is left over equally among siblings. She then views the money as hers and promptly draws out $50,000, with zero regard as to how this might impact her siblings so that she can start, you guessed it, a 6TJ's effing shop. Because tanking 5 shops hasn't been enough for her to learn her lesson, and her only employee and business partner is, you guessed it, Loser. She does this even though everyone who loves and cares about her has tried to talk her out of it. Even Junior, her virtual twin who stuck with her for the first 5, can see that this blimp won't fly. Meanwhile, at this rate, she has another 34 years before the money runs out, and since Hubs and I are the only frugal, financially functional, and moderately successful employed siblings in the family, I am dreading the inevitable day that she will come to us asking for money.